and welcome and good morning to this episode of Cookie's Tech and Talk Table. Today we're doing something a little bit different and veering off to the far left when it comes to emulation to talk about an emulator that I don't talk about too often, and this is my first time even doing a video showcase of it. We're going to be exploring the wonderful world of Android emulation. Why Android emulation? There are a lot of mobile games that actually caught my attention back when I had a Samsung Galaxy 6, I believe, Galaxy 6. But more importantly, I had a GPD Win Q9 tablet, and I had that tablet for a long time. That's how long I've been following GPD products. I've followed them all throughout the XD, Android handheld gaming device, into the Win, where we're up to now. And the Win, of course, is the evolution of what the Android operating system was for emulated games at the time. They wanted to have more control, and so I can see this as a manifestation of their original ideas of being able to put out all the emulators that are for Windows on the portable PC handheld gaming device. So when I first started following GPD way back when they had the Q9, one of the applications I used was called Aptioid. Aptioid was my best friend. Of course, it's a Chinese Apk application on the Android operating system, and it allowed me to download a lot of mobile games at the time, in addition to Happy Chick, which was the famed emulator that allowed you to download almost any ROM that you wanted, before licensing started to take place when Leo Millennial got hold of SNK. So with the changing tide of licensing, registration, and pirating software in China, they have cracked down on that quite a bit. So without further ado, I'm going to get further into this demonstration to talk about the Android and Android emulating operating system that we're using here on the GPD Win Max. So, as you can see, of course, I like to say this every time, that I am using my Aver Live Gamer 2 4K capture card to capture all this media. Everything I'm doing is happening in real-time feed from the capture card of the Win device into the computer. If you like the content that I'm releasing, please do give me a thumbs up on this video and ring the bell for notifications, as I will continue to explore emulation options on the Win Max and to just break into this device as much as I can the power of mobilization that this has granted us with, for us who have been able to buy this on the go. So without further ado, let's get moving. Here is LD Player 4. So there are many Android operating systems out there. You know, I decided to use LD Player because from what I heard, it's the best Android operating system to use on Windows. Just as a thought, and I'm kind of skipping ahead, I'm going to go right here to show you where I've gotten it. So if you go to ldplayer.net, you can get the latest version of the Android emulator that they are emulating. And right now, the latest one that I'm using is this right here, which is the Android 7.1. I know Android is known for their snazzy names. Android Ice Cream, Sandwich, what was it, Cupcake, Brownie, various names. I can't remember them all. But this is the one that I'm using. And I had a whole idea of showcasing all these games, but I'm still learning how to use this operating system here of this particular emulator. And I forget, but I will mention right now that most mobile Android games function with touchscreen. So it's a beautiful thing that the touchscreen on this Win Max works wonderfully with this Android emulator. So most of the games you will be using with the touchscreen. Yes, you can find a way to configure the controls, the in-game controls on the Win Max to the Android games. Some work, some do not. Some do not recognize this because, of course, this is a very customized device from China. So I'm still working my ways around this emulator. But what I will say is, the one game I will display for today is the King of Fighters Allstars, which is one of the main games that I wanted to explore anyway. There are other Android games that I wanted to explore. One honorable mention is Octopath Traveler, because Square Enix actually moved it to Android and Apple iOS, and also the only Japanese released APK Android game, which was the prequel to Octopath on the Nintendo Switch, called Octopath Traveler. What is it? Something of the Continents. Conquerors. I think it's called Conquerors of the Continents or Commanders of the Continents. Something with the word continent. But it's the prequel. It is the prequel game to Octopath Traveler for the Nintendo Switch that Square Enix released on the Japanese Android and Japanese iOS mobile devices. If anybody knows where I can actually get the APK for that, please let me know. Like, leave a comment in this video. Like, I so want to play that game. I'm even having a hard time getting the regular Octopath Traveler for this. To be honest, I don't really want to play it. I just kind of want to demonstrate it, because why play it on Android when I have it for the Nintendo Switch already? However, the only game that makes sense to play is Octopath Traveler, the Continents game, the prequel game to the one on the Switch. I think it's called Conquerors. I think Conquerors of the Continents is coming back to me. Conquerors of the Continents. So I'm gonna put this off to the side here so you can see how to work this emulator. Once again, let me just go show you where I got it. You could go to ldplayer.net, and right there, that's where you can go in and download this. So let me go and minimize you. And then once you install it, very, very, very easy installation process. It installs like a regular Windows program. You can choose where you want to install it, and once it installs, you get this wonderful screen right here. It will recognize, this is how I know it does recognize the controls, because if you see the control pad where my mouse is right here, it's going to turn green when I switch on the side of the controller switcher of the Win Max. So see, it says gamepad detected, and it highlights in blue, sometimes it highlights in green. But for the demonstration of this video, I'm going to turn it off, since the game we're playing mostly functions with the mouse. So what I can do here are all the settings on the side of the emulator. You click the settings here. Of course, you could go into advanced. You could go into game settings. You could go into audio. It's kind of a no-brainer that this emulator runs fantastic without any slowdown. This machine device, of course, is 10 times more powerful than the Android emulator itself, and the games that are mostly ran on mobile devices are tailored to run on a mobile device. Therefore, they can't really max out the Win Max's capabilities, because they're set to run a certain way, which means 9 times out of 10, your Android mobile games are going to run perfectly every time. But for the sake of this video, let's see, we have increased volume here. This is decreased volume. And then, of course, I could put this into full screen. So while I have this into full screen, one thing to mention, which is very cool, is that since this Android emulator is tricking the Win Max device to believe that it is a cellular device, it comes with all the original settings that an Android operating system would come with, and that is the applications by Google. So by clicking here on the system apps, I have the Google Play Store. I have settings like it's a phone to uninstall applications, contacts, downloads, galleries for pictures, the browser, play games, and of course File Manager. But one thing that I really like about this, and it comes with the installation of this program right off the bat without having you to install any extra APKs, is the Play Store. I can go into my Google Play Store and connect my Google account to this. Yes, I could connect my Google account, and I could go into my apps and games, and it will show what I've installed on this computer device or the emulator. And then I can go into my library, and it will show everything my original library from my Google account would show. So all the previous installed APK applications on my previous Android phones would show up underneath my Google account, and I can reinstall them natively onto this emulator without any problems at all. And I think that's one of the biggest highlights of this emu. Just kind of wanted to make sure that I put that out there, because that is just so important. So I'm going to hit escape for a second, exit this tab because it works in tabs, and by exiting the Play Store, which is this particular tab here, I get back to the home screen, And so there you have it, the system apps with all of the Google applications in that bubble. I can also change the dimensions. Right now, the dimensions that I have this under, I believe is, 1280 by 720. I can change this many more times. I think I could put it like that and then save. I'm not sure if it makes it any taller. Yeah, we can restart it. Let's see, it takes back. Do you want to restart the player? Yes, let's try to restart it. An interesting note, I've learned that you can also install Apk files by just dragging and dropping it into the icon itself. So if I wasn't in the application and I had an Apk file that I downloaded and I put onto the Windows desktop, I could just drag it, put it into the icon, and it will install immediately. Yeah, by far, I've heard this is the best Android emulator on the market. So I'm going to go into full screen. I think I've done enough rambling for right now. And I will click on King of Fighters Allstar. So this is the opening video, of course. One thing to note, most mobile Android games need to be connected online to get all of the online downloads, of course, and to access. I don't think you need to really access your save files online. They kind of save internally into the device. But to get all of the updates and to get all the achievements, playing this offline is possible. But then once you get back online, resyncing all of that data with the online servers, I think is something different. I haven't played the game long enough to see if it does a resync where it can get your in-game data and then kind of collaborate that, or what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. My mind is going dead right now. To kind of connect your in-game save data from your computer to the online servers of that particular game, if it does kind of like a resync with everything if you decide to play your mobile game offline. That I have not tried yet. If anybody knows anything about that, please feel free to leave a comment on this video. Thank you on that note. So here I'm moving the mouse. I can kind of just hit the screen like that, of course. I can even tap it too. So I'm kind of starting this from the beginning. If anyone is familiar with SNK lore, the lore of Southtown, or the mythology of SNK fighting games, of course, this is the very beginning of the Orochi saga, the ending events of 1994, beginning with 95, which introduces Kyo Kusanagi of the Kusanagi clan, who is constantly at war with the Yori Yagami of the Yagami clan, and Chizuru Kagura, who is the peacekeeper, who seeks to seal away the Orochi after thousands of years of their meddling in human affairs.
You win!
Alright, and I'm going to end the demonstration right there with King of Fighters Allstar. That is one, of course, of many Android mobile games that we'll be able to play on the LD Player Android operating system here on the Windows operating platform. So if you have any questions about this, please feel free to leave comments on this video. What I will say is that I will be exploring more Android games in the future, but kind of wanted to give a light introduction to the Android emulator that I've chosen that's going to work best for me on the Windows platform here on the GPD Win Max. So as I continue to explore this emulator, I'm going to see the best options that I can use to find a way to map the actual controls of the Win Max to the emulator. Some of the games I've noticed have not done that as of yet, and some games I find don't always want to work and they're not compatible. So I'm going to try to find a compatibility list as well. If anyone knows anything about this emulator and want to share it, please leave those comments on this video, as I'm looking to seek to bring together the community more and more in an engaging concept. So I don't think I've mentioned before, I am on the GPD Win Discord. My name is Fosung Elizabeth Cookye, but I have Strike First in the front of my name, so it's Strike First and Fosung E Cookye. Strike First is my sponsors who have sponsored me as an esports player, so I could play competitively in fighting games. You know, shout outs to them. And so I put their title in front of my name, so that's how you'll find me on the GPD Win Discord. I look forward to engaging with my audiences even further. Shout outs to those who have left comments on my recent PS2 emulation video. I am very thankful for that. That really means a lot to me. And like I said, I'm very quick to respond to messages, not only on my YouTube, but also on the Win Discord. So if you find me on Discord and want to send me a private message, feel free. Send me a friend invite. I will accept it as soon as I can, and then I am good at responding. So being engaging with the public is my thing, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next emulation video.